How's everybody doing? Okay, so now you're dealing with this crappy service. Your trash guy just throws the lids everywhere and he drops trash everywhere on your block. You're just so sick and tired of it, right? You're like, dude, why does my trash service stink so much? You know, the guy's knocking over my cans. It's a problem. Now, let me tell you things that you can do, right? These are things that you can do to slightly improve your service. Things that you can do. Put your trash in bags. Very, very simple. Makes your trash a little bit easier to clean out because you have them in bags. So that mitigates the problem of papers flying everywhere. You don't have to worry about papers flying everywhere when your stuff is wrapped up and tied in knots in bags. Those are things that you could do. Sounds very simple, but it makes a world of a difference. You know, this is going to sound kind of strange, but when making sure that your trash is properly placed out at the curb on time, right? Make sure that you put it out before time. You might have to work with your gardener and figure out a day before the trash day or the green waste day, because people do call sick. People do take vacations. And on those days, often, the guy who's covering the route doesn't really know the route like the other guy. So what'll happen is the guy comes at 6 o'clock. Your gardener comes at 10 o'clock. I mean, say 7 o'clock. 6 o'clock is too early. But you're used to the guy coming at 3 o'clock. So it becomes some confusion and you say, well, the guy left me. Well, the guy didn't really leave you because he starts picking up trash at 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock, whatever time, you know, your city, whatever deal that your city has. So make sure that your stuff is put out on time. Another thing that you could do, every Christmas, giving them a little gift. Doesn't take much. If you don't have a lot of money, go to the store, get some cookie dough, bake some cookies, make it look all nice, and hand the driver some cookies. You know, hey, I don't have a lot of money, but here's some cookies. The reason I say that is because you make an impression on the driver. And the driver feels a little bit more guilty. It's some kind of psychology behind the customer that gives the driver a gift. Not necessarily money, but a gift, a Christmas gift. You know, just showing that yearly appreciation. You're not required. You're not required to do that. Those who do, those are the ones who stand out. But I'm just saying, by giving the driver a gift, he feels guilty as if, say, if he were to toss your lids anywhere or throw your can on the ground. And you're like, man, I got a bad back, and this guy just threw my can on the ground like that. The driver feels more guilt behind it. He's more liable to get out and, you know, make sure the situation, he puts your cans exactly the way you had it put out. Make sure that you keep your cans separated, away from vehicles, away from poles, away from cars being blocked. Because when you do that, you make your trash inaccessible, and some guys are like, you know what, I'm not obligated to get out and pick up this and that, so I'm just going to leave it there and I'm going to call it in and say that it was blocked. So they'll call dispatch and say that your trash is blocked. And you're like, why I didn't get my trash picked up? Or you got your trash in the property and the trash truck driver sees that it's full, but he's not obligated to grab your can unless you're handicapped or disabled and you have that service. If you have that service, then yes, or you pay for the backyard service where you live on a hill or something like that, the driver's obligated to get it because you paid for that service. But if you don't pay for that service, he's not obligated to go on your property and grab your can and pull it out. So, but if you probably gave him a Christmas, he's probably going to say, you know what, this person's going to call later. This is a nice woman. She gave me some cookies, or she gave me a little Starbucks gift card or something, you know, by the end of the year. It made me feel special, right? And They give you, they make sure that they take care of you. And plus they feel guilty if they pass your house up or something like that. They always try to take care of you. Another thing, just, you know what I mean? Being when the if you dislike the lids being thrown, sometimes the driver doesn't really know. Go out and let them know, hey, you know what? In a nice, polite way, whatever the case may be, is it possible that you can please place the lids back how I put them out? Because it's very difficult for me to whatever, because you at least have the lids stacked on a can. If you just don't toss them like a frisbee. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is, just simple things. Not putting, making sure you read under the lids, making sure that you're putting the right materials in the right cans, making sure you're not putting trash and green waste, making sure you're not putting hazardous materials and electronic waste in the recycle. You want to make sure that you read under the lid, you get a proper understanding of what to put inside the trash can, because if not, the trash man is obligated to leave it, because he says, you know what, this person's throwing paint and motor oil and hazardous stuff. This stuff has to get buried. There is a proper way to dispose of electronic waste and hazardous oils and different things of this sort. You just call the city. You ask them about what programs they may have. They may have an e-waste program. They may have a yearly cleanup, whatever the case may be. And they'll make sure that they take care of you. Now, reason that your trash may not get picked up, weather. It could be really, really extremely bad weather. Now, I'm on the West Coast, so it's barely not any snow or anything like that. So you might get snowed in. But we do have things such as, right now we have like this little El Nino coming back, where the water, the floods will push your trash down the hill. If you live on a hill and you got a lot of rain, the rain may push your trash down the street and scatter it amongst everywhere. Or if you have windy weather, it might knock your cans over when it's really windy. So, the only way you can really mitigate windy weather, where it's going to knock your can, just placing a boulder or some really, really strong weight. But if you have really, really gusty winds, it's not going to matter what you put on top, it's going to fall over. That's why it's important that you don't put your stuff close to cars, because your can might get, you say, oh, the trash truck driver or the recycle guy hit my car. But it wasn't us. It was the weather that pushed your can and knocked up against your car. So be sure to call your local company or your local city and figure out what's the best situation, how to handle those hazardous waste, those electronic waste, because we have to bury them. The trash that you put in your cans, that gets buried. When you put trash inside green waste, the company gets charged for trash. So it becomes this big problem that's really unnecessary. So that's one reason. Okay, another reason is your bill's not being paid on time, and the driver's being instructed to not pick up your trash or your recycle or your green waste, whatever the case may be, because your account is suspended and you haven't paid. Now, it might be because your credit card has expired and you're not aware. You switched credit cards, they switched the credit card information, you was on auto pay, whatever the case may be. You might want to call and see if your accounts, everything's up to date. Another thing, your trash is in an unsafe condition. Like, you put a couch on top of your trash. Or you put something that's taller than the can on top of the can. You put a tree on top of the can. You put a couch on top of the can. A mattress on top of the can. Reason you don't want to do that is because, and we won't service it, is because, number one, this could be a hazard as far as on the street. A car passes by and we dump your can, boom, but the mattress flies over, the couch flies over, The whatever is overloaded flies over and hits a car. A TV flies over, hits a car. And it creates a big situation that wasn't necessary. So you want to make sure that you contact your company and let them know. If you have a side loader where it's automatic collection with the arm that dumps and goes down, you want to make sure that you call for the bulky service for anything that's outside of the can. Another thing, if you probably give your trash truck driver a gift and you're friendly and you're always talking to them, they might feel like, some with psychology, they might feel like, okay, I need to get out of the truck and pick this up for this person. So you just never know. You never know. But if you have the service where a guy is manually picking up your trash, then that's totally something different. You might have the leverage because they're supposed to pick up everything that's on the curb, which is even better. So, I think I covered everything. I understand that you don't want to put your stuff out early because you got raccoons and you got bears. If you live in the woods where they go through your trash. You have people who salvage through your recycle, trying to grab recycle cans. Some cities even have locks to lock the cans. So you might want to check the city as far as that. I understand that, but you have to have your trash out on time in order to get service, because trash truck drivers may have 1,200, 1,300, even 1,500 customers that they have to service within a day. So they can't please everybody. That's why they have a certain time that you start. But there's no set time to pick up your trash. Even though the guy who usually picks up your trash at 3 o'clock is not there, the different guy, another guy that covers him when he's sick or when he's on vacation, he doesn't know. But the regular guy knows. So these are things to keep in mind why your service may not be so nice. But I gave you a couple tips on how to make your service better. I'm Eddie Starr. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share. Peace.